Okay. Hey, it's Brian Williams. All right. For bonus points, if you can name the cartoon that's from, it doesn't say Brian Williams, bonus points for that one. Anyway, welcome to Wednesday, June 24th. Oh my gosh, June 24th, less than a week left in the month of June. We are rolling right through 2020. Which is probably a good thing for most of us. Anyway, we are now at the bottom of the hour, so I'm going to get right into our show. My name is Brian Williams, as you've heard, and I am the founder of Real Appointments. And this is our ninth week straight, where we have been live every day teaching a little segment each day on how to guarantee business-to-business appointments for your business. And this day is one of those next days. So before we get into the content, I will introduce my co-host, Ronan Rahman. There he is.
Good morning.
Indeed.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
I am excited. So we are live. And as such, people can comment and engage, ask questions. And today we're working on messaging.
Yes, we are.
So I don't want to get in the way of that. So have at it. I'm going to scoot out.
All right.
When you want to share the screen, and we'll do that.
We'll do it.
All right, man.
Okay. So as Ronan said, we're talking about messaging today, and oftentimes it can be a question: what do I say? How do I say it? When do I say it? Especially when we're making new connections of folks that we're wanting to have an appointment with at some point. So we're going to share with you a couple of insights that we've learned, a couple of strategies that you can implement right away when it comes to your messaging with either people you are already connected with or with people that you have recently connected with. And it'll make you look like a professional. It will help you stand out in a very positive and natural way from a lot of others out there. It's not spammy, it's not salesy, it's not weird. It's actually very, 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 very effective and good. So let's go to my screen, Ronan, and I'm going to find my slides. Okay, this is a small segment from a workshop that we do called Guaranteed Sales Appointments, and we will be hosting our next live Guaranteed Sales Appointments event, broadcasting from our new seminar room here in Las Vegas, the second week of July. If you want information about that, either to attend in person or to attend the live stream, simply go to guaranteedappointmentslive.com, fill out the form, and you'll get on our waiting list for information regarding that. So connecting and messaging. So there's a few different types of messages that we use to generate an appointment. The first is a connection message. And that's a simple request to connect with somebody. And if you've been following us this week, where we started on Monday talking about market to message match, yesterday, we talked about the 3-point power profile, and you've done that work. Then the connection becomes very, very fluid and very, very simple, because your profile and your headline basically does the work for you. So you don't need to do a lot of fancy footwork or creative copywriting in your connection request. So the one thing I will say, and this is throughout all the kinds of messages that we want you or advise you to send, is to make it all about them. Make it all about the other person, right? This is not the time for you to send them a sales letter, okay? Or start talking all about you, right? If you talk all about you, you're just going to turn people off, and they're likely not going to respond to you unless by miracle they happen to be like in the market for what you have to sell, like right at that moment. And that is very, very rare. Okay. That is not that's not a good strategy. A good strategy is to build a relationship with people. And so the way you do that is you make it all about them. So here is a simple example of a connection, or an example of a simple connection request that works very well, because we've already done the work on the profile. We've already done the work on the headline, which is carried along with this message. And the message is simply, this is one of our clients, Joe Kennemore, and it's simply, Simon, hope you are doing well. Let's connect here on LinkedIn, signed Joe. That's all you need to do. One of the things I will point out is a keyword that you'll see throughout a lot of these messages that we're going to show you today, which is the word you. And also we use the word your. Anytime you put the word you in a message, it inherently makes it about the other person. And so those are words that you want to make sure repeat throughout your connection message. I learned this from a speaker trainer. Someone was helping me prepare for a keynote speech. And one of his primary points of advice for me was to make sure that I keep using the word you over and over in my speech, because it helps connect me with the audience. Same thing here. And it works very, very well. Another example is here. So this is an example of Ronan after someone has already accepted his connection request. And basically he's saying, hi, John, thanks for connecting. So he's using John's name. That's another way to make it about them. Hope all is well with you. There's that keyword. And business is good at Allegiance. And Allegiance is, of course, the company that John works for. So it's all about John. It's non-salesy. It's not some canned, sales message that, we see a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of things that are more distracting or annoying than when you make a connection with somebody and then within minutes, you're getting this canned sales pitch. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. And it's a total turnoff for most professionals anyway. I suppose if you did it 1,000 times a day, maybe you'll get a result here and there, but we're not looking for that kind of approach. We're looking for quality, not necessarily, deluging the airwaves with thousands and thousands of messages that don't work. The next tip is to make it non-salesy. So there's lots of different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you an example of a message that we've been using for the last, 3 or 4 months. That's been working very well to get people to return our calls and have conversations with us and our clients. And that's this message here, which basically says hello, and you put their first name in. First and foremost, I hope you and your family are holding up well during these uncertain and challenging times. Although we are all in the same storm together, many of us are riding through it in different boats and achieving different results. And then we go on and at the end, just basically say, hey, if you'd like to have a quick chat or a conversation together or see what that might look like, let me know. And it's a little bit passive. I get it. Maybe your audience needs to be dealt with a little bit more assertively, but for most of us, this message really resonates well. And it's going to put you in a professional light that will help you develop or rekindle even a relationship that maybe you haven't had any connection with for some time. And so you can take this message, you can screenshot this, make it your own, modify it. I know, we're hoping that we're all getting back to work, although when you read the news, sometimes you wonder what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. So we're still in this uncertain and challenging time for most people. So this message actually still is relevant, but you might want to update it a little bit just for the current situation here. We are in June. And then another strategy that we use is this, and that is to share third-party relevant to your market content. And what we mean by third-party is simply content that you did not create, your company did not create. It's curated. You might hear that term sometimes used. It's curated or grabbed from another source. So for example, you can grab content from magazines and newspapers and YouTube videos and infographics and images and blog posts that other people have wrote, and you can incorporate those into your messages. And here's what happens is if you go and you send somebody something that is curated from somewhere else and you send it to them, and it's like you took some extra time and thought to do some research that might be of something of value to them. And so here's an example of how that works. This is going back to that same conversation that Ronan was having with his new contact, John. He found this article in Forbes magazine that was relevant to John's business and sent that out. A few days later, or maybe a week later, Ronan found a different article from a different source. I think that might be off of a blog post or something, and asks John, what's his strategy for going after those technology dollars. And in this particular case, John actually responded the same day back to Ronan, thanking him for sharing these articles. And lo and behold, asking if Ronan would like to get on a call with him. And of course, Ronan did. And so John actually provided his contact information back to Ronan for that. So that's how the appointment was solidified, if you will. And so this is a strategy that works for many markets that are out there. And we encourage you to try it and take a moment, take a step back and not make everything all about you, but make it all about them and make it all about what they might be interested in, and see, and just try it out, try it on for size and see what kind of results you get. We get great results from this across many markets that we do business in, ranging from consulting to technology to marketing to finance. And we know that you'll get great results as well. So if you want an action item for today's training, why don't you go out there, find some content that might make sense to your market that you want to generate appointments with. And you can simply use Google, start a Google search with how to, or a question like that. And you'll be surprised maybe at what you'll find, and simply just put those links in those messages. And that's a good way to get started with something, or start a new conversation. I'm going to come back to full screen here. And there we go. I see. Hey, Kelly, it's been a long time, very long time. Good to see you here. Ronan, are you still with me? You still look like you're behind the curtain. Hey, there you are.
Absolutely. And no, that was really great. And it's just a reminder that, when you slam people with your information, it's just like anything. It's just like dating. It's just like going to a live networking event. I mean, nobody wants to be verbally vomited on when they don't even know you.
That's right. And there are some advanced strategies where you can introduce what you do earlier on in the conversation. And for certain types of people, that actually will work quite well. We do that with some of our clients. But for the most part, just take a chill pill, right? It's okay if it takes a week or two for you to develop that relationship. You're looking for hopefully a long-term possibility, not just a short-term, win, which doesn't really exist anymore, I don't think. So if you want to really dive deep with us and learn our entire process, where we literally unpack everything from start to closing appointments, please get on our waiting list at guaranteedappointmentslive.com. We hosted a virtual version of this, I think 7 weeks in a row, on Zoom, and we're now moving into our new seminar room, and we're setting that up for the first or second week of July. We just haven't picked the exact date yet. So if you get on our waiting list there, we'll be sure to inform you about when that is, and you'll be able to attend that either here in Las Vegas with us or through the live stream. And thank you, Josh Fields. Yes, everybody loves their name in messages, and so we use that a lot.
Yeah, they love to hear their own name. And yeah, it is. This is about getting connected to people. It's not about jamming a sale down their throat. I mean, if you're in it for that, and maybe it works for you, I guess. I don't know, but I have to tell you, I've encountered those things, because I get those connection requests too. And as soon as I connect with somebody, the first thing they do is tell me everything they want to do, and then they want to schedule an appointment with me. Well, I don't even know you, and why would I do that? I'm busy too. It's just, and it's no different than when you network live. When you network live with people, you don't just run up to them, throw a business card in their hand, whoop out your calendar and say, hey, when can we get together? So, building relationships and staying connected to people is the most important thing that you can do. And then from there, it just all kind of flows, not quite organically, like you still have to work and connect with people, but that's a much more effective approach.
Yeah, for the vast majority of us, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you're selling timeshares or used cars off a lot, possibly you've been trained to do the high pressure thing and it works well for you. Mm-hmm. But most of us business professionals, not all, but most, really are not. That's not our wheelhouse. Our wheelhouse is developing relationships that are going to last for a long time, maybe a lifetime, and we're offering high value, high priced, ongoing business services and products. And so there's no need to usually be that, timeshare sales strategy. Nothing wrong with timeshare sales. Love it. I own a timeshare. It's all great, but this is probably not the place for that.
Right. So now tomorrow we're gonna move this conversation forward by talking about Sales Navigator. So all these people that you want to message, who are they? Where do you discover them? How do you know who they are, and how do you connect with them? Sales Navigator is a great tool to do that, because you have access to almost everyone in LinkedIn. So that's how this whole thing progresses.
And for those of you that may not know what Sales Navigator is, it's a service offered by LinkedIn. It's an advanced search tool, and it allows you to find the people that precisely anyway that you might want to go out and connect with. So we'll show you some tips and tricks that we've learned over the years using it. And we're also going to show you how to use the free search tool within LinkedIn as well, in case you don't want to jump into the pond of Sales Navigator quite yet.
Right.
For those that, as well. So tune in tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. We will be here for the 4th day of the 9th week that we've been doing this every day.
Right.
And we appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yep. Thanks, Josh. Where's the stop button?